What is the link? What do cars have to do with books, you might ask? The Trilateral Commission with the Council on Foreign Relations. You ever hear of them? Well, neither did I, until I noticed the chain of coincidence.
Hello, and welcome to Popcorn News, something to watch while you eat popcorn. Do not try to comprehend it all. Nay, just eat the popcorn. It was the day of infamy, December 7th, 1941.
Senators and representatives, I have the distinguished honor of presenting the President of the United States.
Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, members of the Senate, of the House of Representatives, yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
This week will mark the 75th anniversary of the Day of Infamy. There is interesting information about this in a book by former President Herbert Hoover, Freedom Betrayed. And this book was Hoover's magnum opus, which he worked on for years and finally completed around the time that he died in 1964. But for some reason his heirs decided to place the book into storage, and it was unpublished until the year 2011. Here is some of what Herbert Hoover tells us about the Pearl Harbor attack. From the intercepted Japanese dispatches, the administration in Washington knew that an attack was coming upon some Allied country. General Albert C. Wedemeyer later wrote in his book, Wedemeyer Reports, quote, "When on December 6th our intercepts told us that the Japanese were going to strike somewhere the very next day, the President of the United States could have gone on the radio and broadcast to the wide world that he had irrefutable evidence of an immediate Japanese intention to strike. This would have alerted everybody from Singapore to Pearl Harbor. The American people were not satisfied by the official explanation of what happened at Pearl Harbor. Various inquiries occurred. The most important of these was the Congressional Pearl Harbor investigation, which pursued its inquiry from November 1945 to May 1946. Although the majority report found no conspiracy and cover-up, its minority report offered a contrary opinion. The majority party had denied permission to the minority party to search through files and other records held by the majority party. Rightly or wrongly, it was inferred from this that there was a deliberate design to block the search for the truth. Subsequently, it developed that several records were missing. and most inadequate explanations were supplied. Army and Navy information, which indicated growing imminence of war, had been delivered to the highest authorities. In the diplomatic documents, exhibits, and testimony, there was a wealth of evidence which showed tactics of maneuvering the Japanese into, quote, the position of firing the first shot. This week marks 75 years since the Day of Infamy. Another day of infamy occurred on September 11th, 2001. A new Pearl Harbor was needed, had decided the project for the new American century.